All right, hey y'all. Hey Alexis, did you hear Shiloh is suing on? No, I did not. I really hold on now. I did not know that. Wait a second. Is she really? I didn't watch, but I will just follow along because I don't feel like watching the whole thing. Okay. Hey Rachel. That's crazy. Like I didn't but why would she be suing? I wonder what she would be suing for. Hey Day Day again. Hey Juby. She's suing. So but did sh is it known why she's suing? Like what is she suing for? Hey Muddy Butters. Hey Chance. I don't know how to say that, but hey. Hey love for my poor C. Wow, I had no idea it got that deep. Like, I just want to know what she's suing for. Apparently, allegedly, I don't know, but um allegedly Shiloh is suing on. And I'm just confused as to why. Like, I'm really confused. She said she's suing because she had a bruise and they feel like they cover for Phil. But didn't she say that he wasn't trying to be violent? Like she just felt like emotionally he was trying to hurt her, but not physically. These interviews that these cast members are doing in these YouTube streets are spilling all the tea. Let me tell you something. I have been on Little Black Book's page more than ever. I've been on his page and I've been on Crystal's page because she does good interviews with them too. Wow, it's crazy. This season wasn't that good until like the last few episodes and the reunion. And really, what's even better is the interviews on YouTube. And if you don't watch anybody else's interview, I think what's her name? Sydney. I feel like Sydney had a really good one. So Shiloh is a black Karen. Oh, child, I don't know, child, but they say she's suing. They have it on tape that she said he hurt her emotion. Exactly, she said emotionally, not physically. He didn't try to hurt her. Oh, Courtney was the third party when Phil picked her up. Courtney said it all on Little Black Book. Shiloh was intoxicated and it was raining. I heard. Kojo gets all the tea. He sure do. He sure do. He's really good at that though. Like he's really good at getting down to the root of things. Like I feel like sometimes it could be a little exasperating because we get into the childhood and like we just want to get to the point, but I feel like he does that so that he can, so he can get to the core of what's going on. Like so he can get those answers later on. I get what he's doing, but child, they run a little bit long and have to skip through. I watched an interview where Courtney and Tyrone talked about it because they were both there. They both insinuate that Shiloh lied. Oof, child, this is getting messy. They repeated her saying she didn't feel like he meant to hurt her. Exactly. So that's why I'm confused. Crystal Jordan has Aisha. She had me crying. I have to watch that one. Simone and Rashad's page is good. Oh yes, I saw that Simone and Rashad are in a relationship and that they have that podcast. But I haven't watched any of their content yet. Except for the live she did with Cornelius and his mistress child. That is so messy. Oh my goodness. Something ain't right. It's the accent. It makes you trust him. Yes. He is so like Yes, is it the accent? He's good at what he does though. He really does. And he does call them out. He'll call them out. But I feel like he warms them up. He knows how to warm people up. See, I have a degree in psychology too. So I can see where he's what he's doing. And I don't think it's manipulative. I just think he knows how people are, how people work, and he's really good at it. Little Black Book just interviewed Cornelius' girlfriend. I saw that. I saw that right before I jumped on live. I'm gonna watch it when I get done. Is psychology proving that Americans trust people with British accents? Really? Because it makes them sound educated. You know what? Am I being is it working on me? Yes, I heard that, Alexis. I watched a video about it. A classroom had two people say the same thing, one in a British accent and one in a American. That's crazy. He gets them to trust him and make them think he's on their side. Yes. Which I don't think he's like this like evil person trying to get them to spill the tea. I just think he's a good interviewer. He seems genuine. He does. But anyway, y'all, I want to get into before we get into all that, I want to get into the reunion. Let's talk about the reunion and then afterwards we can talk about all that. So let me pull up my notes real quick. I thought I had them right here. So first things first with the host, I don't know. It's just clear that she really hasn't watched the show like thoroughly, like all the episodes. She probably got the highlights and people wrote some questions up for her to ask. But I don't know. I just that's why we needed Tommy. Like even though Tommy can irritate me sometimes, he can be a little biased or he can go easy on certain people. Um we need someone who has watched the show and knows what's going on so they can further press when somebody is giving a fake answer. You know? I feel like Kojo would even be a great host because he watches these things thoroughly. And I feel like he will be able to get the truth. He'll get down to the nitty-gritty. Um, but yeah, I don't know. She's good at hosting, but just when it comes to a show like this, you need someone who's actually watched the show. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna move on to Zadia. Um, with Zadia, she was clearly only concerned about staying on the show. I refuse to believe Zadia truly wants Naeem, and he looks stupid fighting her battle because everybody sees that she does not really want you. And I feel like deep down inside he knows it too, because whenever they showed Dante, her scenes with Dante, or you know, her speaking about Dante, the way he would look to see her reactions and things like that, you could tell that he knows that he was second best. And she even said as much. She even said that Dante was her number one and I was gonna choose you. And that's when she got all up in his face and was upset about him choosing Aisha. Are you saying her name wrong? Am I saying it like, is it Zadia or Zadia? Because every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, whether I say Zadia or Zadia. I'm sorry. I don't, if I'm saying it wrong, I didn't mean to. I'm not trying to be that shady. Simp. I'm sorry. And I hate to use it too, but because I feel like men you overuse it for men that are actually being nice guys or sweet to women, genuine to women. But yeah, he's simping at his finest. That stupid smirk, it was so disingenuous. Like the constant smile and laugh was so disingenuous. Like that is not your true feelings. You know it. And it's like she was trying to manipulate us, but you're doing a poor job. Like nothing you did convinced us that you were not bothered, convinced us that you were actually in a couple with Naeem. Naeem don't even really believe it. So annoying. We love it. Say it wrong. Oh my goodness. And then he was like, Well, you know what? We proved we're a real couple because I left when she left. And it's like you left because you had no other connections. Like you put all your eggs in the Zadia basket and now you're gone. Like you was gonna get eliminated the next week anyway. So don't try it. Like he really tried to pretend like, oh, well, I left because no, but you left because you didn't have any other connections. And then women were gonna send you home next. Her laugh when they were playing her segment was so fake. So then they get to the point where she put her hands on Dante. And honestly, I went back and forth with this and I'm just going to say it. I really think she should have been either severely reprimanded on camera for what she did, like Tommy or somebody. Well, it had to be Tommy. Tommy should have said she was dead wrong to her face in front of everybody because that wasn't right. And her putting her hands on him in that manner was not right. And possibly sent home or whatever. It I feel like it sets a bad precedent. The aggression was uncalled for, and and obviously she was jealous because he chose Aisha even though she doesn't even really want Dante. She was just mad because she lost to Aisha. Um and I feel like she made sure to squash it off camera first so she could speed past an apology on camera and say, I was wrong. And we got to speed past it because she didn't want to look crazy like Camille. But I feel like she really should have been held accountable and um she should have had to apologize for calling Aisha dense and dumb too because she was just completely disrespectful all the way around. She thinks she's better than Aisha. She looks at Aisha like she's a hood rat or something like that. And Aisha was the one who got the man that you was after. So I feel like that's what all of this stems from, and no one actually like nailed that down. We needed Tommy because she needed to be called out about her comments about yes. I wanted someone to call her out for that. I think they thought they played everyone. Remember, they said, "See you at the reunion." Uh-huh. Girl, bye. It was a bad Tyler Perry play. That line. I don't know what happened. Zadia said they didn't punish Phil, so they can't punish her. I'm sure she was probably on that same level. It was probably like, well, what happened first? I don't know what happened first, but regardless, she was wrong for that. Because people have been saying, why was Shiloh's off camera incident brought to the forefront and put on camera for 2 episodes, but the Zadia incident that happened on camera was barely mentioned? Because it was a woman doing it to a man, and when women have those aggressive acts towards men, it's often dismissed. And for I hate to like I don't want to maybe like well defend men so hard, but I just feel like when women are aggressive towards men, it should be treated seriously because they shouldn't be doing that to them. And men, it can't really react, and it's just unfair. And she meant it in an aggressive way. She had been aggressive with everybody else on the show. And on camera and off camera. Apparently, her and Sydney had something off camera where she was trying to fight Sydney. She was wrong for disrespecting Aisha. Aisha didn't deserve it. Anyway, let's move on. I'm just gonna go ahead and get Aisha and Dante out of the way. Yes, Marie. Everyone, man or woman, should keep their hands to themselves. Exactly. Everybody. No one should be putting hands on each other. Violence is not acceptable at all. So, I'm gonna just talk about Aisha and Dante because not much really happened. We just know they have a. I feel like they really do have a genuine connection and their personalities just fit with one another. And I always felt like Aisha was the realest one because she was truly open and vulnerable and was a good communicator, and she didn't stick around with men just because she wanted to have a number one and a number two. Like, you could tell she actually went on these dates. When she realized the men were not for her, she moved on. And I feel like she did this process the way you're supposed to. She didn't get jealous of other people. She, actually, she put it out there what she wanted. And I feel like in a way it just came to her. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if her and Dante are gonna work out in the long run, but they just seem to mesh. And I think it's good the fact, like, even though, his situation can sound a little bit messy, like he has 3 kids with 3 mothers. Um, as I mean, he doesn't want any more kids, she doesn't want any more kids, so they messing that with, they got plenty of kids, okay? And if she doesn't mind the fact that he has these 3 kids and he takes care of them, he's in their life, and he's doing what he's supposed to do as a father, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, Aisha and Dante are the most genuine final couple ever across all seasons. All the seasons that I've seen, I do feel like out of everybody, they truly make the most sense and truly have a genuine connection. And the whole time while they were talking, the Brown Girl Club was so salty. Oh my goodness. And it's crazy. Yes, Camilla and Corny were looking so stank. And the craziest part is, though, I feel like Cornelius on some parts, like he wanted to smile and he wanted to interact with the rest of the cast, but because Camille was being so salty, he had to like straighten up. You know what I'm saying? They were so mad. They were so mad. I did not understand it. Like, y'all are supposed to be happy with your partners. I thought you were so happy with Cornelius. Zadia has this fake plaster smile. Naeem, I thought you were happy with Zadia. Like, why do y'all look so mad? Cornelius was so scared. Like, he could not interact with anyone else. Dante, Dante and Aisha could be a big Brady bunch. Cornelius was definitely scared. Do you think Aisha and Dante will last? I mean, I don't know if they'll last, but I think they definitely can. I think they have the potential to, but I don't know if they will. Exactly. They have each other. Why do they even care? Jezebel and Ahab 2.0. He had those grills in. She probably had something to shock him if it went left. Oh my goodness, you crazy. Cornelius was feeling what Aisha and Dante were saying. He had a small smirk. And then when he saw Camille with her stank face, he put his fake serious face. Exactly. Zadia and Camille are controlling. And I don't think they even really want those men. Like, I don't think Camille really wants Cornelius, and I don't think Zadia really wants Naeem. They just want to be in control or something. What is wrong with Cornelius at his grown age? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, I don't. Didn't they say Cornelius was like 43? I watched their panel on Little Black Book and they said he was 44, 43. I would have thought he was, first of all, I thought Cornelius was closer to my age. I'm 30. And Courtney is 30, I believe. And she was like, she couldn't believe, like, she couldn't believe somebody that age was acting like that. He do not act like he's in his 40s whatsoever. He need to get a backbone. But let me move on, y'all. So, since I brought up Courtney, I'm gonna bring her up her situation. She's okay, so let me talk about this because I feel like Courtney got the aggressive flirt edit, but she said in reality, like off camera, Cornelius lied about being celibate. Like off camera, like he was like returning her advances. Like he was like being touchy with her too. But on camera, it was making it seem like she was this big aggressive person, like this aggressive flirt coming after this innocent man. When in actuality, he was returning like the favor off camera. And like I was ready to say, well, if this were a man doing it to a woman and the woman was like, I want to wait, it'd be wrong for a man to do it, but she said off camera he was doing it too. So look, I believe her because he's a very deceiving man based off of what we've seen off camera with these interviews and stuff. He's very deceitful. He seems like he uses women to get to where he wants. um I think regardless of whether Camille is like controlling him on this show or controlling the narrative, I do think in many ways she is controlling, but I think in a way he's using her too to stay in the spotlight, to stay getting these little 15 seconds of fame. Y'all ain't even hardly getting no followers off of this. Y'all are really acting like y'all gonna be in movies and TV shows after this. Like I can't believe people are really using this to try to get these little 15 seconds of fame. He didn't give abstinent. Those photo shoots would commit. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me tell you something. Someone who is truly abstinent, celibate, whatever you want to say, you're not going to be taking pictures half naked with your partner. You're just not. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all are not going to be naked taking pictures. I'm sorry. Y'all trying to put on this persona of, oh, yes, we some good little church women and men and we saving ourselves. Please. Y'all ain't even doing it. Y'all not even putting up a good front. This facade is not even it doesn't even make sense. I'm sorry. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure I brought that up because I didn't like the way he steered that narrative that she was this aggressive person coming after his virginity. Like it I don't- he's definitely a user based on the situation with the publicist. Yes, I feel like he used all the women. I do. I really do. Anyway, no, that's not taken away from Camille at all. I do feel like she's aggressive. I do feel like she's trying to control all of it, all of the situation, even the narrative right now. I feel like she's trying to control. He cheated. He did whatever he did with the publicist, and she's trying to control that situation too. We all see it for what it is. The celibate choir boy was an act. Cornelius is only looking for clout. When the new season starts, people will forget. And it's crazy. The new season is starting next week. We are going to like just the same way we forgot about every other season. Y'all season, we're really gonna forget about it because with them doing this back to back, with like all this drama happening right now, within the next couple of weeks, we ain't even gonna be thinking about it. So you doing this for clout, you doing this to be seen. I hope you soaking it up right now because in a couple of weeks it's gonna be over. Let me move on, y'all, because I could stay. Y'all know I could talk about that. Let's move on to let's talk about Sabrina, Walter, and Mumine. Okay, So let me say this because I didn't review the season, but whenever I saw the scene with Mumin coming over to Walter and Sabrina at the piano, I thought it was wrong because Mumin and Walter already had a moment at the piano. They talked about how they wrote a song together. They had a cute little moment together at that piano. So when he's having a moment with someone else, I just think you should have let them have their time. You already had your time. So, like, don't come over there and make the situation uncomfortable for them when, you know what I'm saying, you already had your time. And I could understand, even though Walter, I feel like Walter is disingenuous, and we'll get to him in a minute. I just feel like it would have been awkward for anyone, and she shouldn't have put them in that position. But I feel like Sabrina played it well because Sabrina Sabrina didn't care. Like, I don't think Sabrina truly, I don't think she cared. She didn't look upset, she didn't look bothered. Obviously, Mumin was, and I just didn't like when she confronted him later on, basically trying to put it on Sabrina, like Sabrina was turning him against her. Like, that was so weird. It was kind of like whack too. I didn't like the fact that she did that. Like, never, like it. If he starts acting different towards you, if a woman can do that, it's still on him. It's still on him. You still should not be looking at the other woman. It's still on him because you're the one who have a connection with him, not Sabrina. Sabrina shouldn't even be a thought for you. Yeah, it was giving insecure. It was. The brown girls hyped Mimi to go into the piano room and interrupt. I could believe that. I could believe that. Cause it doesn't make sense. I feel like they got in her head because it just doesn't. Mimi was going on group dates and was fine. She was going on group date. Didn't she go on a group date with I forgot who she went on a group date with, but she was fine. She didn't seem insecure on that date. I think the Brown Girl Club squad got in her head and was like, you know, you need to put your foot down or whatever. I believe it. I believe it. Cause she wasn't acting like that before. Anyway, that with that whole situation, I feel like she was wrong. But the whole situation with Walter and Sabrina, at the end of the day, I feel like he just used Sabrina to get to the end. And she was smart enough to see it, and I thought she would, she called him out. I like the fact that she stood up against him. I like the fact that she didn't just go along with it and just, play the game with him. Um she had been calling him out the whole time, like, "You're not calling me, you're not pursuing me," and she knows her worth. Now, I did think it was a little odd that she was, like, rubbing his back the whole time afterwards during the reunion, but I don't know, it's just something about Walter that's disingenuous. I feel like he was not serious about that at all, and she saw through it. And then the part where he was like, he felt like she shoulda gave him a heads up. If you were calling and texting her on a regular basis, you would already know where her head was if you actually cared. So, I don't know. I just Walter did say the Brown Girl Squad was the reason why he lost interest in you mean. I believe it. I believe it. They have a bad influence on people. Walter for the streets. Yep. I heard he had a girlfriend the whole time. I don't know how true that is, allegedly. But I heard he had a girlfriend the whole time. I don't know. I know I don't trust him though. Cause I feel like, and I hate to say this, but I just feel like that whole I feel like him bringing up his wife, or yeah, his wife passing away unexpectedly. I feel like he kind of uses that to get women to have sympathy for him. His interview, I haven't watched that interview yet. Maybe I'll see a different side to him, but I don't know, child. Apparently, he said something like that on Little Black Book. Really? I was watching somebody's live and they said something about him having a girlfriend. I don't know. Walter reminded me of Joel. Yes, they had the same story. Except he doesn't have any kids. And Sabrina, oh, that's something else what Sabrina said. Sabrina was like, he like younger women. Because he wants to have kids. But I just feel like at how old is he? Because if he wanted to have kids, he probably would have been had them. See, now I'm gonna beware of these men that pull that widower card. Yeah. Men love using, well, let me not say all men. But when men always pull out something constantly that garners sympathy from women, it always puts me on high alert. Cause, you know, a lot of women tend to be nurturers, and so they know that women will fall for it. It's annoying. 45, yeah, I don't know. Like you say you want kids, I would think you would have had kids before 45. Only 45, you thought he was older? I feel like he uses wanting kids to justify him preferring younger women. Me too. I don't think I just think if you were 45, you would have had kids by now if you really wanted them. Especially when we don't know the nature of their relationship when yes, that's important too. I agree. Walter played with his wife's time too. How were they college sweethearts, but they didn't get married until late 20s, early 30s? Ooh, that's a good point. All right, y'all, let me move on because I want to get to Corey. So we talk about Corey and his copy and paste technique. I thought that was so funny when the host said it. Um, and then they showed a scene of him crying, and it was so cringy because I can get into some crying, y'all. I'm sorry. I can get into crying when I feel like it's genuine. But when they played that scene of him crying, it just something about it did not feel genuine. Like even though he was doing the ugly cry, the lip quiver, he was doing all that, but it just did not resonate. It did not resonate with me. And then he started when they asked him about it, he started crying on the stage. And it just once again, it did not hit with me. And the crying did not make sense because his reasoning didn't make sense. Like whenever they asked him, like, well, Corey, why are you crying? It's like what did he say? He said the joy he gets from making someone happy. What? Like, y'all, it didn't make any sense. He said he wants love. He wants the love that his parents had. Honestly, if y'all watch Married at First Sight, he communicates like Zach. Both of them have that same breakdown and cry. Terrible communicator, can never truly express themselves, and I think it's because they're being disingenuous. I feel like the reason why they can't explain what's on their mind or give a good explanation is because they're lying. Kappa, no wonder. Y'all, look, the Kappas get mad when I say that. Like Greek people get mad when I say that, but Kappas be on this type of time. They do. Every Kappa I've ever talked to has been on this type of time. Y'all need to get on y'all brothers. Don't get mad at us. That this is how they act. How you expect somebody to want to deal with you when that's how you act? Do you see how you act? No one on stage believed it. Exactly. Courtney and especially Mumine. Mumine was not falling for it at all. Courtney was not here for it at all. Sabrina was trying to take up for him. I'm like, Sabrina, stop, because when men treat you bad, when men are disingenuous with you, you have no problem with calling it out. Let these other women do it. And if you think he's so genuine, you think he's so misunderstood, you date him. These women coming in caping for him, I just didn't understand that. I just feel like whenever men cry, like I understand, like, let men cry. I do want men to express themselves. But if they've done other women dirty, let the women call them out. They deserve to let the women call them out, and don't make the women coddle them, because Courtney said the host looked at her to rub his back whenever he started crying. It's like, no, I'm not finna rub his back and he did me dirty. Y'all going off about the Kappas. I'm telling you, that's how they act. Camille, and yeah, and Camille was jumping to his defense. Camille, stop. They own it, like they both disingenuous. Like, and I think that Corey is good friends with Cornelius. Maybe that's why she was sticking up for him. But I just don't understand. Like, mind your business. Only crying to be manipulative. Exactly. They ain't crying because they genuinely crying. Like, if he was genuinely crying about, like, if he would have gave a real genuine reason as to why he was crying, if he would have said, when I was a young boy, I was a nerd or I was a geek or whatever, and women did not like me, or they would constantly turn me down, and it made me feel a certain type of way, that when I got older, I wanted to treat them a certain type of way. Like, be honest about it. Now, I'm still not gonna feel too bad, because get over it. You 44 years old. Corey is too old. He too old. You should have worked those feelings out by now. Because he gives me, oh, I was a nerd. Back then they didn't want me. And so now I'm trying to be this player. And you're not good at it. So anyway, let me get back to my notes. So basically, he got to skate past his trifling ways by crying. Like, yeah, they allowed Courtney and Mumine to call him out. They weren't having it. But I don't know. I still feel like he got to skate too much because he started crying. And the crying wasn't even genuine. Camille gave him that script. She said, put your mama in it. I could believe it. I could believe it. Corey and Zach from Married at First Sight have the same origin story. Yes, I could totally see that. Why would you throw your mama in it? Almost every man who was a show on almost every man who was on this show is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. You know what? And that makes me wonder, does Tommy have any influence on the men that join this show? Because isn't he a Kappa? So let's move on to the TCS segment. Um I want to like Ticia so bad. I wanted to like Ticia so bad from the very beginning, because I love the fact that she's an entrepreneur, and I don't know, it's something about that I really like. I felt like she was gonna be like a front runner because she's pretty. She just seems to have a lot going for her. But I don't know. It's just something about her that rubs me the wrong way. Like when she got up and walked around, I knew she wanted everybody to see that dress. I knew that's why you stormed out in the first place. You wanted everybody to see that dress. And you wanted attention. The attention wasn't on you. So you was trying to put the attention on you. That's why you stormed out and, oh, this is so ghetto and all this other stuff. Then why did you come back in? Why did you come back in then? I wasn't buying it either. Like, it's like, girl, you just wanted some attention. That got on my last nerves. I feel like she was way too deep in her feelings during this process. Like from the very beginning. She it's like she was really upset about being on the chopping block, but they didn't send you home. So you should have like shook that off. Like I don't know, like the fact that she confronted them the next day after the elimination and she was just like, "Well, why did y'all have me?" Like, girl, it didn't even the way you came at that was all wrong. Someone had to go home and you're not entitled to be chosen. The the dress looked like the Statue of Liberty. She was all smiles during her segment. That's what I'm saying. It just it I didn't like it. She came back probably because they told her they'd talk about it. Those tears dried right up. That's what I'm saying. Like she didn't have that same energy when she came back. Cause she wanted all the smoke with Corey. Was that ghetto when she confronted Corey? Like, you know what I'm saying? She literally did the same thing with Corey, which was confront him for what he did. This is what the reunion is for. Why is it ghetto? Because people are in conflict. So that's why I wasn't here for her calling people ghetto because they were in conflict. That's not fair. They're just confronting people for the things they did during the season. That's what the whole reunion is about. Ticia just wanted a moment. She didn't get it during the season. She could have kept whatever she had with Corey to herself. I didn't mind her. I did not mind her exposing this. Now that's one thing I didn't mind because I feel like it should have been. I feel like Corey was trying to hide their relationship for whatever reason. Um, I don't want to say it's because she's on the thicker side, but it could be because he was trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I was the only one sticking up for you. I'm so glad that Walter and Phil spoke up and said what they said because that's one time where I was on TC's side. Like, don't be sitting up here trying to hide me. And you went on dates with you went on dates with Courtney, but don't try to make it seem like it does sound like she was kind of thirsty for to be like, well, I was the third, I was in this triangle, it was a square, like, you know what I'm saying? It does kind of make it seem like she was thirsty to be a part of it, but I think in that instance she knew what he was doing, and he was saying one thing behind the scenes and he was saying another in front of everybody, and I'm glad he got exposed, and I'm glad she confronted him in front of everybody. That's one moment I think she deserved, you know. Somebody said Corey looked like Bud from the Cosby Show. He sure do. He do. But yes, I think she deserved to get her redemption with that, even though we didn't really see it. But I don't know. She kind of rubbed me the wrong, and then, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the group date with Phil and Shiloh and his ex. It's like it's like, girl, even with the whole seating arrangement, she was mad. She felt like, oh, I walked in and it felt like I was the mistress to somebody. Girl, this is a group date. Does seating really matter? Like we know why we're here. We know what we're here to do. We know it. Like, why are you acting like the seating arrangement really matters? Like, no one cared about the seating arrangement in any other group date. It really didn't matter. Like, it's the girlfriend, it's the ex-girlfriend talking to the prospects. Like, I feel like the seating arrangement was perfect for that, to be honest. Maybe she felt away because she was the furthest away from Phil. And then she was like, she felt like people were cutting her off. And it's like, no, girl, people weren't cutting you off. You was taking too long to answer. and Shiloh jumped into the dead space, the dead air where it was silent. She jumped in. Like, yes, complaining for no reason. That's my whole point. It was like everything was an issue. She made tiny issues huge issues. Like I don't know. I feel like she would make a mountain out of a molehill all the time. Did she really get cut off, or did Shiloh jump in when she was just taking a long, like, it was a very long pause. And so when you're having like a group interaction and she asked a question to both people, so she just jumped in. Like, I didn't think it was that serious. I just think this sort of situation is uncomfortable for someone like Ticia. She wants the complete attention of a man, and so she should just do like the one-on-one thing, I guess. She seems like a sweet person. I watched a little bit of an interview she did with Crystal, and she seems really sweet, but I think sometimes she could be a little bit overbearing. Shiloh was helping her. Yeah, it didn't feel like Shiloh was trying to like steal the attention. It just felt like she was trying to like keep the conversation going. I don't know. But yeah, you guys, that's all I have for this reunion. If y'all have any like anything else y'all want to talk about, like with these interviews that the cast has been doing, um, I watched a few interviews. I saw where uh, I saw let me see, I saw one with Sydney. I saw part of Walter. No, I mean not Walter, Frank's. Oh yeah, Frank said that because if y'all noticed, he was absent in the second half of the reunion. Um, Frank had like, did he say a wedding to go to? Something like that. That's why he was gone. Oh yeah, Shiloh. Somebody said that allegedly Shiloh is suing on. I'm not sure. Like this is the first that I'm hearing about it. Um, I don't know why she would be suing. Someone said possibly because she got a bruise from Phil. They didn't show the full story. But if she is suing for that reason, allegedly, if she is suing for that reason, you kind of shot yourself own self in the foot because you said that you felt like he wasn't trying to hurt you. You said emotionally you felt like he was trying to hurt you, but physically you felt like he wasn't trying to hurt you. And then you said you were triggered, and I can understand that. But at the end of the day, your trigger doesn't, with the whole situation, I just felt like I could see both sides of it. I could understand not wanting to be picked up, in that situation. But I just feel like this is getting out of hand with her suing, if she is. Shiloh is a part of the Black Girl Squad. She is? I'm confused. I heard Frank don't even date black women. That doesn't even shock me. Especially he brought up a white ex, and I don't know. I see Frank dating white women. He acts like it. I can't explain it, but it's like he doesn't really know how to cater to a black woman. It's certain, I don't know. He just doesn't give that he dates black women. Shiloh was for that team. I'm not surprised. I did not know that. Emotional hurt. Exactly. She said out of her own mouth it was emotional. Did you see the preview for next season? They got some juicy thick men. Dang. Maybe the thicker women will have some connections. I hope so because I hate the fact that a lot of times on this show the thicker women get eliminated earlier. And that's kind of why I was rooting for Ticia because she seemed like a thicker woman that the men were attracted to, and they did keep her around for a much longer than the thicker women normally, stay. Shiloh disappointed me. I liked Shiloh, but I just don't understand where she's coming from with that. Yeah, Shiloh was on live with Camille and Zadia. So Frank shouldn't have been on the show. He shouldn't have. If you don't date black women, why are you coming on a black dating show? That doesn't make sense. Don't let this be your first or where you want to start dating black women on this show. Don't do that. Shiloh was trying to emotionally control Phil. Like that's the way it's coming off. Like it just seems like you're really salty that he chose Sydney. Which I don't know why. Like it's Phil that like this big catch that I'm not seeing. Like at first, like I thought Phil would be, someone that I would be attracted to. But I take a better look at Phil. He is this who we're losing our mind over? Like, come on now. Yes, I would like to see a big man on the show. Cause let me tell you something. There's some handsome thick men. There really are. Like a bigger man has caught my eye before. Like, what's wrong with that? They should bring on some bigger men. Walter on his interview said he had no intentions of waiting till marriage, but he was dating Mimi. See, he just wanted a number. Frank using black women for clout. Can I say this? Someone said Cornelius had on a Cab Calloway suit. I'm screaming. Oh, okay. Shiloh tried to Tyrone Field. They didn't have much to choose from. Child, I can't. Phil isn't handsome, but he's sweet. I think Phil is, but I do think Phil was playing with Shiloh, and I do think in a way he was. Like when she expressed her feelings towards him and he just kissed her, I feel like that was a little bit playerish of him. We've seen that same move be pulled on this show before. AJ was from last season, right? He did the same thing last season. So he has his way. He played a little bit with Shiloh. I ain't gonna lie, but that's no reason to go this far. You know what I'm saying? Ruben Studdard was low key cute when he first came on American Idol. You know, I was a kid back then, but when I look back on it, Ruben Studdard is actually really cute. He really is. And he seems like he's sweet. Kimberly Rivers likes a thick man, okay? I definitely think he should have been upfront with her, but he saw the signs, she ignored them. True. Sydney came in late and took that woman's man. They knew what they were doing bringing in Sydney late because Sydney said she got the option of coming in at the same time as everyone else, and they gave her the option of being the wild card, and she decided to go with that. And they knew what they were doing bringing in her in as the wild card. They knew. Sydney just has that She has that, "Oh, you yeah." Like, I'm not trying to make fun of her voice, but that's how she sounds, like, very girlish. Men love that, like, girlish vibe, like, fun, constantly, like, flirty. They know what they were doing. She do kinda look like Ashanti. Very pretty, very pretty. She's just like, a lot of men are attracted to that type. I'll say that. Um, I don't mean to be controversial because I know Portia is not anybody's favorite right now, but kind of like Portia Williams, like very like Portia's on the ditzy side of things though. I don't get ditzy from Sydney, but you know what I mean, like just very girlish, very oh, how are you? Give you a big hug. Let me wet your whistle. Men will let Sydney spend their money and she don't have to know how to cook, okay? But see, I don't get ditzy from Sydney or Airhead. Aloof, maybe? Aloof, maybe? I don't know, but definitely I don't know the word I'm looking for. Go with the flow, always smiling, no pressure. Yeah. Cause she even said like the reason why her last relationship didn't work was because he was kind of stringing her along and she was doing wifely duties without getting a ring. And so that's why she left. So yes, carefree, girly, childlike, woman trope. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of this. Shout out to everybody in this live. I'm gonna have to watch the first couple of episodes of Ready to Love before I decide whether I want to review every episode because this last season was a little whack to the end. But we'll see. I might get back into it. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to review the next season. And yeah, I have to jump off this live, but I really enjoyed this one. Make sure you like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.